This is From Courtroom to Carline, the podcast where we discuss life as a lawyer and a parent.
I'm Rick.
And I'm Jenna.
Your host and partners both in the courtroom and in parenting.
Join us as we navigate the fascinating worlds of life as a parent and a lawyer.
From courtroom dramas to Carline chaos, we'll share insights, anecdotes, and plenty of laughs along the way.
Whether you're a seasoned attorney, a working parent, or simply curious about the intricacies of our dual roles,
this podcast is for you. We'll explore the challenges, the joys, and everything in between balancing a legal career and the adventures of parenthood.
So buckle up as we embark on this journey together.
Now, this is not legal advice, but in every episode, From Courtroom to Carline is a delightful blend of legal insight and parenting hilarity.
Get ready for a roller coaster ride where law meets love and where the gavel meets the car line. As a quick introduction, we are husband and wife, and we own a successful law firm here in St. Pete, practicing primarily in criminal defense, and things can get a bit hectic at times, especially with spring break and Christmas break. Not because we're out partying, but because we have 3 children, and when spring break happens and Christmas break, that means schools are closed, but we still have a business to run.
That's right.
So things have gotten a bit crazy since we've had our children, but we still love what we do. More into that later, but first I'm going to start with where I started my legal career before I had children. So I started at the Public Defender's Office in Brevard County back in 2013. I absolutely loved what I did. I would try every case that, the client was willing to allow me to try. It was just such an adrenaline rush. It was certainly exciting. Fast forward to 2016 when I get pregnant with our first son. I was obviously still able to try cases. It was a little bit harder. I was, a little bit more tired and wanted to rest more, but it was still really good. Before prepping for this podcast, I looked up actually when I was still in trial and how far along I was. February 7th of 2017, I was 9 months pregnant. I was in a misdemeanor DUI trial, got a not guilty, by the way, and gave birth on February 28th, 2017, so 21 days later. I still like to go to trial. I still enjoy trial, but it's definitely a lot different having a family now.
Yes, and a little bit about me. So I am from Pinellas County, and when I graduated from law school in Jacksonville, I wanted to move back home, work where I was from. I grew up in Dunedin, and so I ended up volunteering at the Public Defender's Office for several months because that's what I wanted to do. That's where I wanted to work. So I started off volunteering, and then eventually I was hired on as an attorney. Now, the position was not in Pinellas County. It was in Pasco County. So even though I was living in Clearwater, I was having to commute to Pasco County, which was manageable because I didn't have any children. So it was really just me who I was responsible for. I could focus on the cases, and there were a lot of cases. The caseload was very high there, but I can manage it. But at some point in time, I did accept a position in Pinellas and continued to try cases. I love trial. I love learning about criminal law. I love the motions and the issues that come up. And so really, that's what I was interested in, learning about each case, learning the facts of each case, and just reading about and hearing about people's stories. Now, in the beginning of 2017, when our first son was born, my mindset kind of shifted and my priorities changed a bit because now I wasn't just thinking of myself, but I was also thinking about our family, thinking about who I needed to be responsible for and what I needed to do to make sure that I could provide for them. So I ended up looking for a new position and accepted a position at a big civil firm in Tampa doing property insurance claims. This was around the time that Hurricane Irma came through and lots of people had denied and underpaid claims. So I was doing that for several months, and it wasn't really for me. I wasn't as passionate about it like I was with criminal law. But I continued to do it until when we got married in July of 2018. And so after we got married, we found out that we were pregnant with our second. And that's when I really had to make a decision whether or not I wanted to spend my time at the office making good money, but not being there for my family and also not taking the load off of Jenna, who was still at the public defender's office trying cases, working good hours. So I made the decision to start the Fletcher law practice, and at that point in time, the rest was history.
So there have certainly been a lot of changes over the past 8 years since Rick and I have been together. Obviously, I left the public defender's office. We rebranded and named our firm Fletcher and Fletcher. We have definitely grown a lot in, our mindset, our business knowledge. It's just been a really great ride so far.
So this podcast is for professionals, it's for parents, it's for people that just want to improve various aspects of their life, whether it's their work-life balance, whether it's their priorities at the office, at home, in relationships with a spouse or significant other. We have certainly grown as a married couple over the years. We've learned a lot about each other. We've learned a lot about parenting. We've learned a lot about running a business. And so if you want to take in and get any value from what we learned, this podcast is for you. And so we hope that you can enjoy it and apply those lessons to your own experience.
And along the way, we'll talk about the crazy things our kids do, the daily struggles, and our parenting and life hacks to get through those daily struggles, and how to keep a positive and healthy mindset.
That's right. A positive mindset is very important because there's going to be times during this journey, whether it's at work, at home, with the kids, where it's going to test your patience, it's going to test your resolve, and you've got to stay positive because that's what's going to get you through it and get you better at the end. We'll also do a bit called What Happened to Florida Man. As you know, there's lots of articles that come out, seems like every other day. Florida man did this, Florida man did that. And we hear and we read the news article, but we never figure out or find out whatever ended up happening to Florida man. So we'll find out. We'll have stories on each episode of an article about Florida man, but then we'll also go into what ended up happening at the end of his case and get your opinions and thoughts on that later on.
We're definitely excited to open up to a larger audience. We're certainly not perfect, but we hope that you guys enjoy the journey with us. Again, I'm your host, Jenna.
And I'm Rick.
And we hope you enjoy From Courtroom to Carline,
a legal parenting podcast.